Hello YouTubers, RogueMonkeyJr here, and in today's video I'm going to be bringing you guys a new video series. So LtAristotle gave me the idea for this series, and it's going to be called Pick One. So basically, if you guys don't know, in Battlefield 1, for most of the weapons, instead of having attachments like in Battlefield 4, they have 3 different variants. So what this video series is going to be about is me playing with each weapon variant and then giving my opinion or my personal preference for which variant I would use for my playstyle, and tell you guys what the other variants have, as opposed to, let's say, like the Storm compared to the Trench, or the Factory compared to the Trench, and what would be the benefit of using that specific variant of the weapon. So over the weeks I'm going to be covering all of the weapons that have 3 weapon variants. This week's weapon is the Automatico M1918. Just going to go over some general information about the weapon. So it's a weapon that is manufactured by Beretta, which is an Italian company, and it is actually made from half of the Villa Perosa anti-aircraft submachine gun, and it was one of the first SMGs to be generally issued as a combat weapon. Now I'm going to go over the general stats of the weapon, which don't differ whatsoever between the variants. So it has max damage of 23, minimum damage of 12. It's got a high rate of fire of 900 rounds per minute, magazine size of 25, 380 meters per second muzzle velocity, which is pretty damn slow. So you're going to want to use this weapon pretty close range and not try and hit moving targets that are far away. It's got a reload time empty of 2.8 seconds and a reload time with bullets left in the magazine of 2.1, and it has a first shot recoil of 2.65. So the first version of the weapon that I was using was actually the Automatico M1918 Trench. So basically this variant of the weapon has hands down the best hipfire accuracy out of all 3 of the variants. It's just insane. You can get kills from so far away just by hip firing. It's actually kind of ridiculous. Of course, the other weapons, the other variants of the weapon have pretty decent hipfire accuracy, but if you use this one, it's just going to be over the top. You're going to really notice the difference. I would suggest using this variant of the weapon, if you're actually a run and gun type of gamer, a player in Battlefield 1, that is to say, because aiming down sight actually takes a little bit more time after you're done sprinting. So using the Trench variant, if you're run and gun a lot and turn around corners and like don't slow down to look or whatever, you're going to be able to use this weapon to your advantage just by the hip fire is so good that you won't have to aim down sight, and it's just going to be that much more advantageous for your type of gameplay. Now the second variant of the weapon that I used was the Storm variant. Now this weapon has the advantage to have the lowest recoil pattern, so it has 0.308 recoil up, 0.28 left, and 0.28 right, as opposed to the other 2 variants which have 0.44 up and 0.4 left and right. That is because it is actually equipped with a vertical foregrip, which makes it a lot easier for your soldier, if you might say so, to actually control the recoil. So this one is actually going to be good if you want to use this weapon a little bit more in longer range and if you aim down sight a lot. This is hands down my favorite version of the weapon, just because I feel it's a good all-around weapon. It has pretty good hipfire accuracy, not as good as the Trench variant, but really good. You can still do really good with hip firing only, but it also has really manageable recoil. Seeing as this gun has a really high first shot multiplier, I actually enjoy that lower recoil pattern and easier to control recoil. It kicks less up and left right, so it's just easier to stay on target and just track targets better than it is opposed to the other 2 variants of the weapon. Now the third and final variant of the weapon which I used was the M1918 Factory variant. Now this one has the advantage of having lower weight. So having lower weight, it's gonna decrease the time it takes to recover from your bullet spread. Now bullet spread, basically what it is the longer you fire, the more bullets are going to go off target, and when you stop firing, that spread will decrease over time, and when you start firing again, it's going to be back to normal depending on how long you waited in between bursts. Now seeing as this is the low weight variant of the weapon, it's going to have faster spread decrease, which means that you're going to have to wait a lot less longer in between bursts or firing and to go back to that normal spread pattern. Now this variant of the weapon is a lot better if you're actually taking a lot of burst fire shots and all that, and if you're trying to hit longer range targets, and like I said, you're burst firing a lot, it's going to help you out like tremendously, because you're going to recover from that bullet spread so much faster than with the other two variants. Personally, I found this one to be the less useful for my taste, at least, just because I don't use this weapon for very long range shooting or medium range shooting for that matter, because it just simply does not do enough damage at range. It is a close range weapon, and I found that variant just fucking kicks like a horse for some reason. I don't know. I found that the recoil was just almost unmanageable with that variant, and I really don't know why, but it's the least favorite of the three for me. Hands down, the M1918 Storm is the best well-rounded variant of the three. It has good hipfire accuracy like the factory version, and it has very manageable recoil as opposed to the other two weapons. And this is how I would prefer to play, because I do aim down sight a lot, although I do have the tendency with this weapon to hipfire more, because I know I can, and it can still be pretty accurate, but I do hipfire a lot, so I don't see the point of actually using the trench and not having that better and easier to control recoil pattern. So that's about it for today's video. If you like this video, or the idea, the general concept of this video series, which is once again called Pick One, let me know in the comments down below, and also let me know which gun you would like to see in next week's video of the video series. Also, a big thanks to LtAristotle for actually suggesting this to me, because he felt like it could be a good follow-up to Bare Bones from Battlefield 4, and I really appreciate his input on this. And as always, if you guys like the video, hit the like button. If you disliked, hit the dislike button. Subscribe to my channel for more videos like this one. Also, let me know in the comments down below which weapon variant you prefer, and if you actually like the Automatico M1918. And as always, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.